Okay, we're live. It is Friday, March 1st.
Happy March.
Happy March 1st. Feels like it should be March 2nd. Why is that? Extra day
Leap.
this year.
We leapt yesterday.
We did have a leap. Funny, somebody mentioned me, oh, it's not fair because we're not getting paid for that extra day. Like, oh man, you said that to the wrong person. Yeah, exactly. But just
Yeah.
we were talking before this. He said it's just a rosy day in the markets. Why don't you give us the expansion on that?
Yeah, just sanguine almost.
It's like you've been drinking too much sanguine over there.
Yeah, I think so. No, pretty much everything turned up today. Um, yeah. Nothing super crazy happened in the markets, but markets were higher today. I mean, as for what's been going on in the markets, certainly crypto's been ripping, which we can talk about that a little bit as we get into the charts of the day. But market-wise, markets are pretty happy. Been starting to see a bit of a divergence in some of the Magnificent Seven that everyone's paying attention to. So you've had Apple and Facebook underperforming the other five, and Tesla's been a bit soft as well. But yeah, so a bit of a divergence there. Amazon hit a new 52-week high today. So yeah, so some of those names continue to perform, and we got updated Hedgeye's outlook, so we'll talk about that a little bit as well, just on what they see on the horizon based on what's been happening with the data. But yeah, generally just an easy, quiet day, which is not necessarily how March usually plays out, but was so today.
Hey, we like it.
Yeah.
Easy, quiet day. So we like those on a Friday, right? Okay. Where are we at? You said you got a few slides for us today. You kept it simple for the day.
I did.
Got for us.
Let's go to that. Simple, but busy.
It's simple Friday.
Simple but busy.
But busy Friday.
Yeah.
Just drinking sanguines over here.
Sanguias. So as we look at the quad updates, we got to look at the quad updates. One of the things I think probably most noteworthy from our last time we looked at this is, Q4 of this year, quite a bit of optimism around the world as to where we're going to be. Q3 actually starts to look quite positive as well, with the exception of a few countries, Argentina, Australia, China, South Korea, Indonesia, but those probably present some opportunities there as well. So, but quite a bit of optimism on the other ones. This will certainly play a role in what I think about and how I think about the mix, and we'll update that next week. I haven't been able to dig in enough as to if we're going to change anything materially, but that was a significant addition. I think the other thing, which I've pointed at this before, so these are the different countries, the G20 countries. This is the Q4 of 2021 all the way up to Q4 of 2024. So just backwards looking, some of it with forwards looking estimates. This section in here shows the growth, so that'd be GDP. And then this section here, which gives you the strength of that, signal strength. And so, this plays a part into obviously your conviction. So high signal strength gives you high conviction on what you're going to do. So on the GDP perspective, the conviction is actually quite low. But as we start to look out towards the inflation data, what jumped out at me the most here was just the signal strength of inflation by the end of this year, extremely high, where we think they start to see inflation start to kick up a little bit by the end of the year. So with that as the backdrop, you get kind of the view that maybe we get a reacceleration of growth towards the end of the year, and maybe a little bit of reacceleration in inflation. In inflation, for those who follow this, it's a rolling rate of change number. And so right now what we have, February, March, April, May of 2023. Those inflationary numbers are going to start to roll off as we get the new inflation numbers for this year start to kick in. And those are pretty aggressive high levels this time last year. So as we start to see those numbers roll off there, we're probably going to get that inflation number under where we'd like to see it, and likely with the view that you start to see rate cuts on the back of that as the data starts to roll through. But pretty interesting to think about what we need to do at this point. And this soft landing narrative seems to be grabbing hold, and the data is starting to suggest that maybe that's what we get, which is a bit of a surprise. Always love contra indicators, and The Economist tends to be one of the best if you look historically when they call bottoms and tops. I think I put up an Economist one about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, just about the death of the unicorns, and we're starting to see some of those tech companies start to IPO and do quite well again. We had ARM with good earnings on their second quarter of being public again. We have Reddit filed IPO. Reddit's going to go public. So interesting. This is the other one. Effectively, The Economist said we're in a bull market. Nothing bad can happen. If you read the article, it's actually a little bit more moderate, but that front page tends to be a very interesting contra signal. And for those who don't know who this is Larry Fink. And so Larry Fink is the CEO and chairman of BlackRock. I've indicated this, and we certainly have over the last 4 years that we've been really covering crypto, Bitcoin in more detail, and saying, there's this view that the SEC is waiting for BlackRock to be ready before they launch an ETF. Well, look, I mean, they have already have $10 billion in their Bitcoin ETF in this extremely short period of time. So they've been just gathering assets like crazy. And Larry Fink, as you probably recall, about 4 months ago now on CNBC, effectively saying you need this as an asset allocation in your portfolio, even though 2 years he said it was stupid. But once they got ready and got on side, ETF got approved, and now they've been hoovering up assets everywhere in the world into their portfolio. So, obviously we're in early days of this, but as assets start to pour into these ETFs, you're getting something in the neighborhood of 10,000 Bitcoins effectively needing to go into these ETFs each day. And for those who are tracking that, something in the neighborhood of 200 or so are actually mined every day. So you got a bit of a suck of money going in here right now. I don't think this is a straight line by any means. In fact, I've trimmed some, but Larry Fink certainly happy with his relationship with the SEC here. That's it for the charts today.
Holy. There I am. Yeah, everybody's a backwards looking genius, right? Yeah,
that's it.
Even he said it was stupid 2 years ago.
Yes.
We have the video evidence to show that we've been on the right side of this for a long time.
Yep.
Anyway, okay. Well, what do we got looking at for next week?
So quite a bit of economic stuff coming out in Canada next week. As I look, we got leading indicators on Tuesday. Unemployment numbers come out on Wednesday in Canada. And then on Friday of next week, a ton of employment data coming out in Canada. So lots to come through in the Canadian markets. In US, I think some stuff to come out as well, but in Canada, quite a bit of info to come forward. And I think these numbers should play a part as to what we think the Bank of Canada is going to do. Ultimately, we still think with what our economists do, which our economists think rates are too high and they think they're coming down. So we'd still line up with that. As I talk through my network, I continue to hear that quite aggressively. And so I've had a bit of a bounce in housing. But if we look at the setup, there's still a lot of pressure on the consumer in Canada and rates are still quite high. So we still think rates are coming down this year.
All right. Any parting words?
So thanks for everyone who got their RSP contributions in. Still putting TFSA money into the accounts as well and adjusting. And Eva might reach out to you and check in if we haven't got your TFSA contribution yet this year. But obviously on the back of this is tax time. And so we've jumped right into that. Eva started to send out reports with the tax packages, either directly to you or to your accountant. If there's anything specifically you need from us, if there's something you don't see on the website or any report you're missing, certainly reach out to any of us, and we'll do our best to get it back to you as quickly as possible. And so we would be jumping right into tax time.
Oh, man, the hits just keep coming. It's great.
That's it. Yes.
Well, we started this by saying what? Oh, it was just like it's a lovely day in the markets today, or what did we say? Something like that.
Yes.
Lovely day. It's sanguine at tax time as well.
That's it.
All right. Well, it seems like we're giddy here on May 1st, so let's wrap it up and start our weekends.
March 1st, but yes, for sure.
Yeah,
You've already missed 2 months. May 1st.
May 1st, yeah. Exactly. I'm trying to accelerate my sanguine past tax time.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. We've had enough. This episode probably won't air. We'll see you later.
Have a great weekend.
You
Take
too.
care.